Golly.
Whew.
Stinks. God, I got to turn the fan on. 15-13, 35th in the net, 42 wins above bubble, resume average 40, quality average 34.3, and then a qualifying record of 5-11. However, they are or were, as of Monday, projected to be in the tournament. Matt, I'll go to you on these Auburn Tigers right now.
Man, I mean, Coach Bruce Pearl leaving his son not only right before the season starts, but secondly with one of the most difficult schedules in the entire country. I mean, that's just – nobody's turning down the job. Nobody in that situation's turning down the job. But you're looking at that schedule. I mean, it started off with a bang. You got to play Houston. You got to play Oregon. Got to play Michigan. Got to play St. John's. Got to play NC State. Got to play – at Arizona, got to play Purdue, and then you get into the SEC grind. This is one of those situations with a team that what's going on and what's transpiring right now for them, it's tough. Yes, they were able to knock off Kentucky, 2 games ago, but going into that game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. And so basically they've lost 6 out of their last 7. The strength of schedules matters. There's no question about it. But this is a team that's not trending in the right direction. So you gotta give them a bonus because of who they played. I mean, what a bonus of a non-league schedule. You got to give them a bonus.
Damn,
you got to.
No, we only do that for football at the SEC. We don't do that for basketball.
Thank you. See,
but I mean, they're 15-13 against it. They're 15-13 against it. Would be my counter.
This is my biggest thing though. They're 6-9 in league. Like, it's so tough to say, hey, let's put in a team that's with that record and 15-13. Now they've got to finish this thing. They have Mississippi, LSU, and Alabama to finish. So there's opportunities there. And I've said this now all night, and I'm a firm believer in it. Who have you beat? Well, guys, they have one huge, huge win on there, and it's Florida. That carries some weight in what they're able to do. And it's not Florida, it's Florida away. That's a road win against Florida. That has to carry some weight. I think they're in right now as we speak, but they can't. They have to turn this around. Like you said, they've lost 6 of the last 7. I know the last 10 is not a thing anymore. It hasn't been the thing for a while. But going from the eye test, they're not playing good basketball. Defensively, we know they're terrible, but they're not playing good basketball, but they do have that Florida win, which I think when you look at this and it gets down to Selection Sunday, that's going to carry a bunch of weight because Florida is going to continue to play better. They're in the top 4. I mean, pretty soon we got to have that conversation about Florida is, hey, those are the 4 teams and what they're doing with, Michigan, Arizona, they're in that conversation with what Florida has been doing recently.
Yeah. 2 random wins is kind of how I look at them. That would never happen again. They would never beat St. John's again, and they would never beat Florida again. They're going to be.
But it's on the schedule, right?
But it happened, and that's why they're even.
Here's the thing for a team like this, and this I'm stating the obvious. So when you're sitting there on this line, you cannot lose a bad one. And they got 2 bad ones out of the last 3 on their schedule. You got to take care of business against Ole Miss.
And LSU is playing better, by the way. They're playing better.
LSU is playing better, but still, you drop that one, you are not in the NCAA tournament.
No,
totally. You got to go in there in those 2 games and play like the more desperate team. Guys, our season's on the line. Play like the more desperate team.
Yep. And I think they get Ole Miss because Ole Miss is as dead a team as you will ever see. LSU is going to be the one, though. LSU is going to be the swing game there because they're not beating Alabama. So, if
Auburn's body language has been terrible here the last couple of games. Just the way that gets that's what scares me because you feel like they could drop because and I'm not a body language guy normally, but it's been bad and obviously bad.
Listen, the tournament will not miss Auburn. Okay, it will not miss Auburn if they don't make the cut. That's how I feel about it. This is what it is. I don't think they've put together a deserving resume. All right, who's next, Dagan? Texas, who Todd Golden said was like, you don't want to see this team in March. Now, I saw a tweet. I can't, God help me. I don't remember who sent it, but he said the nicest person in the entire world is a college basketball coach after he beats your team. And that was
because those coaches can't stand him before the game, man. Those guys do not like Todd Golden. There's no way. My man's turning around doing the gator chomp, celebrating up 25. And those coaches can't stand him. So he goes to the press conference. I respect it. He goes to the press conference and tries to help teams like Texas get a bid. I love it.
You relax over there. You're getting a little too excited, okay? We'll talk about – we got plenty of time to talk about Florida over the next month. I think we're going to be talking about them for the next month. But Texas here, 17-11, 40 in the net, 44 wins above bubble, resume average of 48, quality average of 36.7, and a quad 1 record of 5-8. Matt, they feel like they're like I would say they should be in over in Auburn, for example. Like I think they should feel safely in at this moment. But maybe you feel differently.
No, I'm with you. I think they're in. There are some head scratchers of losses. The loss to Arizona State, albeit by one possession. Virginia in a non-league, not a bad loss. At UConn, not a bad loss. The win over Alabama is carrying a lot of weight for them. It's just you watched that game last night. Now they've dropped 2 in a row. And they got to go to Texas A&M and then to Arkansas and close the season out against Oklahoma. But they lost that game last night. Florida closed it out on a 23-3 run. They had a 4-point lead, and you're thinking, all right, winners out of 5 out of 6 going into that, or outside of the Georgia loss. It's like, okay, this team, man, they're actually starting to play and trending the right way. And then to see the way that Florida closed that game out. But I'm with you. I trust them way more than I trust Auburn right now. I would say Texas is in.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. It's the wins again. I've been banging on, but at a road win of Bama is going to carry a lot of weight as well. But like that's what bubble teams are. Like Texas, they played a great first half. They were doing everything that they wanted to do. They made the game extremely tough against Florida. And then all of a sudden the second half comes and there you go. Like that's what these bubble teams are. And that's why we get to do this and have this joy of talking about these teams. I do trust Texas way more than I trust Auburn, though. I just think with what they've done, how they've got – now they've got the 3 that they have to finish out. The Texas A&M game is a huge game. I think that's one you've got to get. And you look like you're feeling really good about yourself.
Yep. NC State.